Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. 여러분 안녕하세요. 1월 30일 목요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. We live in fast times, but also complicated ones. And the more we grow, it seems to be more difficult to move around. However, we found ways to deal with such growth, and one perfect example is Seoul's metro system, which is in itself an example of efficiency and development. 지난해 서울 지하철이 수송한 인원이 27억 명을 넘은 것으로 나타났습니다. 서울교통공사가 발표한 2019 수송 인원 분석 결과에 따르면 지난해 총 수송 인원은 9호선 2, 3단계 구간을 포함해 총 27억 2,600여만 명, 하루 평균 746만여 명이었고요. 1에서 8호선 구간만 보면 26억 명이 넘었습니다. 2018년에 26억 4,200여만 명과 비교하면은 작년에는 1.1% 증가한 수치입니다. 평일 중에는 금요일이 수송 인원이 가장 많았고요. 월요일이 상대적으로 적었습니다. 그리고 일요일과 공휴일은 평일 평균치의 절반 수준에 그쳤습니다. Well, the subway has become an indispensable tool to be more efficient, and it has even become a role model for other countries. And with that in mind, here's a quiz question. The subway can take you to many places. When you take the subway to work, you are doing this. 1번 commuting, 2번 communicating, 3번 country music. 네, 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있겠습니다. 퀴즈 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 떡볶이 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 반디 게시판 무료로 이용할 수 있고요. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문도 보내주세요. Okay, then let's kick off today's show. And for that, I'm joined by, of course, the one and only Steve. Good morning.
3번 선택 다시 말씀하세요.
Country music.
More twang, please.
More
Come on.
country music.
Oh, no. Less twang. Less twang. Good morning to you.
Good
How are
morning,
you?
Steve.
Do you want a little fun fact about the Seoul subway system?
I do.
Okay, here's a quiz question. What is the deepest underground subway station in Seoul?
I have no idea.
No guesses?
Okay, let's guess. Samsung Station.
Incorrect.
잠실 Station.
Also incorrect. It's on line number 5.
Oh, 5.
Yep.
5호선?
Think Mapo area.
상암. What's the one near Sangam? I don't know. Actually.
No, it's Yoinaru.
여의나루역이 가장 이렇게 그 지하에 이제 뭐라 그러죠? 낮은 네, 깊이 들어가 있군요. I can't speak today.
Yoinaru Station, Seoul Subway line number 5. Because of having to cross the Han River by a deep tunnel and not by a rail bridge, it is the deepest train station in Korea with a depth of 90 feet or 27.5 meters below sea level.
아, 그래요. 지하 27m 위치에 가장 낮은 곳에 있는 게 바로 여의나루역이군요. I didn't know that.
Fun factoid, right?
Yeah.
That's it for me. See you tomorrow, everybody.
Right. Bye-bye, Steve. Right. Still a lot of people wearing masks. Have you been wearing them yourself?
I have not, actually, if I'm honest. When I come to work and then when I go home, I'm in my car.
Oh, yeah.
But what I have been doing, I think, is kind of limiting my going out. I've just been staying home more often.
Very wise.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
And, just being careful about touching public things like handrails on buses or handrails on subway systems. And I saw a lot of subway stations now are offering the hand sanitizer.
That's good.
Yeah, it's very good. I saw one cute story, though. Some Seoul subway person made a mistake they thought they put hand sanitizer, and they actually put hand soap. So people were covering themselves in hand soap before. But yeah, I mean, back to the point, Seoul subways are doing the right thing now. And I love the subway here in Seoul. You know, expats, when they come to the country and when they come to Seoul, it's one of the first things everybody talks about is how amazing the subway system is here.
Yeah, I use it quite a lot as well. And I love it. And I'm not an expat, but, you know, I love it.
Yeah, it's so convenient, right?
It really is.
Although being on the subway at Gangnam Station on Friday night at 7:30,
I have been there.
it's a challenge.
Especially if you're as short as I am.
That's
you just
true.
Can't get out.
Tall, short, I don't think it matters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go over the prevention guidelines for people that may have the sniffles. And of course, this is a prevention measure against the new coronavirus.
Yeah, let's do that. So these are basic guidelines that have been issued by the government. First of all, wear a mask when showing respiratory symptoms such as coughing, especially when going outdoors, and also to medical centers. You're going to want to wash your hands for at least 30 seconds and as often as possible throughout the day. Try not to touch your eyes, your nose, or your mouth. If you do not have a mask, please cough or sneeze into your sleeve and make sure that your mouth and nose are fully covered. I guess the difference between coughing into your hand and into your sleeve is that you're going to touch other things with your hands, right?
Yeah.
Inform medical staff, please, if you have recently traveled overseas and if you have a fever or are showing respiratory symptoms like a cough or a sore throat within 14 days of returning from China, especially from the Hubei province, including Wuhan, you can call the Disease Control Center. The number is 1339. You can also visit a selected health center and make sure to inform medical staff of your overseas trip.
네, 그렇습니다. 지금 스티브 선생님이 국민 감염 예방 행동 수칙을 영어로 번역해서 읽어드렸습니다. 제가 다시 한번 정리해드릴게요. 기침 등 호흡기 증상이 있을 경우 마스크 착용, 특히 외출하거나 의료기관 방문 시 착용, 흐르는 물에 30초 이상 자주 손 씻기, 눈, 코, 입 만지지 않기. 마스크가 없으면 기침이나 재채기 할 때 옷 소매로 입과 코 가리기. 해외 여행력을 의료진에게 알리기. 그리고 마지막으로 후베이성, 우한시를 포함해서 중국 여행 후, 후베이성 등 중국 여행 후 14일 이내 발열 또는 호흡기 증상, 그러니까 기침 또는 인후통이 발생할 경우 질병관리본부 콜센터 1339로 문의, 선별진료소를 우선 방문, 마지막으로 의료진에게 반드시 해외 여행력 알리기. 네, 이상으로 국민 감염 예방 행동 수칙 읽어드렸습니다. Now with that said, let's go over today's global headlines. 이제 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
The number of confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus has overtaken the 2003 SARS outbreak inside of mainland China.
중국 내 신종 코로나 바이러스 확진자 수가 2003년 사스 때를 넘어선 것으로 나타났습니다.
Scientists in Australia have become the first to recreate the novel coronavirus.
호주의 한 연구소에서 신종 코로나 바이러스를 재생산하는 데 성공했습니다.
Europe and Russia have given lukewarm responses to U.S. President Donald Trump's Middle East peace plan, while Palestine strongly rejected it.
도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령의 중동 평화 구상에 유럽과 러시아는 미온적인 반응을 보이고 당사국인 팔레스타인도 강력히 반발하고 나섰습니다.
As the UK heads towards the EU exit door, the government of Scotland has shown willingness to hold a second Scottish independence vote.
브렉시트 발효를 앞두고 스코틀랜드 자치정부가 두 번째 독립 주민 투표를 강행하겠다는 의지를 보였습니다. Well, you can listen to the headlines again free of charge by going to our website. 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지에 들어가셔서 조금 전에 읽어드린 헤드라인 무료로 다시 들으실 수 있습니다. 많은 이용 바랍니다. Let's go over the headlines.
Headline number one this morning. The number of confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus has overtaken the 2003 SARS outbreak inside of mainland China.
네, 중국 내 신종 코로나 바이러스 확진자 수가 2003년 사스 때를 넘어선 것으로 나타났습니다.
As of Wednesday, there were 6,061 confirmed cases of the virus in mainland China, including 132 deaths, according to Chinese officials. The number of cases grew by around 1,500 from Tuesday. That's a big increase, more than 30%. The figures do not include Hong Kong and Macau, both of which have reported a small number of cases. There have also been at least 91 cases of the virus reported outside mainland China. And talking about SARS, during the 2003 outbreak, there were 5,327 confirmed cases of the disease in mainland China with 349 deaths. Experts have previously estimated that the virus figures could still be vastly underreported. This virus, making the novel coronavirus far more contagious but also less deadly than SARS.
Well, the number keeps rising, and as we speak, they're probably still counting right now, so it's quite likely that that number will be a lot higher by the end of our show even. I have figures that show 6,078, which is a little bit higher than what we had last night even. But as you said, this is even more than the SARS number of deaths within China. And outside of China, 15 countries are affected. 68 cases have been confirmed, but the deaths are restricted to within China. 132 people have died so far.
That's right. And you're also right. I mean, it feels like every time you hit the refresh button on your computer, the numbers seem to be increasing. Authorities in China have also reported a suspected case of the virus in Tibet, previously the only region to have avoided the virus. If confirmed, the spread to Tibet, despite their implementation of strict checks on travelers and closing of tourist sites, it will bring about concerns once again about how easily the virus is transmitted, particularly when people are asymptomatic or not showing symptoms at all. Hong Kong has reported 8 cases of the virus, announcing Tuesday it was closing many of its border crossings with mainland China, cutting or slashing the number of tourist visas it issues to mainland Chinese visitors, and cutting in half the number of inbound flights from the mainland as well.
Talking about flights, we were expecting some charter flights to leave Korea and bring back Korean nationals around the Wuhan area. Within today, actually, the flights were set to leave Korea at 10 a.m. and 12 a.m. and then arrive in China in the afternoon and bring back the Koreans this afternoon.
10 a.m. and noon, you mean?
10 a.m. and 12 a.m. was when they were supposed to leave Korea for China.
Okay.
But that has been delayed. The Foreign Ministry announced just earlier this morning, in the wee hours of the morning, that that has been delayed for now. And we don't know exactly when, but it is likely that they will probably leave Korea for China tonight. That means people will maybe have to wait one more day to come back to Korea.
I see. Well, other countries have been doing that as well, getting their citizens out of Wuhan. A flight carrying 206 Japanese nationals arrived in Tokyo Wednesday morning. Those passengers are all quarantined on board, and those with any pneumonia-like symptoms will be taken to a special medical center for treatment. Americans as well, a plane carrying approximately 210 U.S. citizens, mostly diplomats and their families, has also left Wuhan, according to a State Department spokesperson, and that flight is bound for Riverside, California via Alaska. I believe they're stopping in Alaska to refuel the plane, and I also believe in Alaska that they will be checked for one last time before they move on to California.
그렇습니다. 미국에서는 이미 전세기를 이용해서 중국 내에 있는 이제 미국인들 수송을 하고 있습니다. 우리나라 같은 경우에는 원래 오늘 오전 10시와 12시에 출발을 해서 그다음에 중국에서는 오후에 또 출발을 하고 저녁 때쯤에 중국 우한 지역 인근에 있는 한국 교민들이 돌아올 예정이었으나 오늘 새벽에 외교부에서 이게 이제 늦어진다. 일단은 오늘 오전에 출발하는 계획은 취소됐다 이렇게 밝혔습니다만 아예 취소가 된 것은 아닐 것이다라는 게 이제 전문가들의 분석이고요. 오늘 밤에 출발한다라는 얘기가 있습니다. 오늘 밤에 우리나라에서 출발한다라는 것은 아마 이제 중국에서 돌아오는 시점은 내일이 되지 않을까 이렇게 예상이 되고 있습니다.
I want to get those people home as quickly as possible.
Indeed.
New Zealand has done the same, and Australia has done the same too. Australia's decision was a little bit controversial, though, because they are going to be transferring their citizens to a space called Christmas Island for quarantine. That's the site of a former offshore detention camp for migrants. But the citizens will be removed from Wuhan.
그렇습니다. 그리고 WHO 같은 경우에는 아직 이 코로나 바이러스를 국가 비상사태라고 선포하지 않았어요. 그런데 우리 시간으로 오늘 밤 8시에 긴급위원회를 소집한다고 밝혔습니다. 이 회의에서 과연 이제 International Emergency 국제적인 비상사태라고 선포를 하게 될지는 좀 지켜봐야 될 것 같습니다. The WHO is set to meet tonight our time.
One of the reasons that they say that this virus could continue is because it functions much better in cold weather. It transfers from person to person much better in cold weather. And the type of weather that China is seeing right now is ideal for the coronavirus. Speaking to state media on Tuesday, Zhong Nanshan, who is one of China's leading respiratory experts and also a hero of the 2003 fight against SARS, he said that he expected the peak of this to come in up to 10 days. Here's the quote. He said, "It is very difficult to definitely estimate when the outbreak reaches its peak, but I think in 1 week or about 10 days it will reach the climax, and then there will be no large-scale increases." Some people disagree with that, but at least that's one opinion from an expert.
All right. Well, in related news, let's go on to headline number 2.
Could be very important news. Scientists in Australia have become the first to recreate the novel coronavirus.
호주의 한 연구소에서 신종 코로나 바이러스를 재생산하는 데 성공했습니다.
It's a significant breakthrough which will enable accurate investigation and diagnosis of the virus globally, per a statement by the Doherty Institute released Tuesday morning from where the virus was grown. It's hoped that it will help efforts to treat the virus.
Some people are saying this could be a game changer because if you can create the virus, it's very likely you can quell it or contain it too.
Yes, that's right. And Mike Catton, who is deputy director of the Doherty Institute, told a news conference yesterday, the virus can be used in the assessment of the effectiveness of vaccines particularly and of medicines. And it also gives us the opportunity, this is a quote, to create a first-generation antibody test. And that's important both in the clinical management of patients who may be late in the illness, but it's also really important for us to look at things like asymptomatic infection with the virus or mild infection that hasn't come to the attention of health authorities, and those patients haven't been tested and identified as cases.
네, 호주 멜번대 피터 도어티 감염 면역 연구소는요. 신종 코로나 바이러스 감염자로부터 시료를 받았습니다. 그러고서 이제 바이러스를 분리하고 배양하는 데 성공했다고 밝혔습니다. 이제 앞으로 세계보건기구 WHO를 통해서 전 세계 연구소와도 이 정보를 공유하겠다고 밝혔고요. Hopefully we'll be able to hear from them soon with some sort of an antidote for
Well,
this.
Royal Melbourne Hospital's Julian Druce, the virus identification laboratory head at that Doherty Institute, said this in a statement. Having the real virus means now we have the ability to actually validate and verify all test methods and compare their sensitivities and specificities. Scientists grew the virus from a patient's sample at the Doherty Institute almost a week ago. So it could be a massive breakthrough in this.
We really hope it will be. Okay, well, moving on to other news, let's go to our third headline.
Europe and Russia have given lukewarm responses to U.S. President Donald Trump's Middle East peace plan, while Palestine strongly rejected it.
도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령의 중동 평화 구상에 유럽과 러시아는 미온적인 반응을 보이고 당사국인 팔레스타인도 강력히 반발하고 나섰습니다.
So leaders from around the world, they have chimed in with their responses, mixed responses to U.S. President Donald Trump's long-awaited Middle East plan. It came out on Tuesday. The proposal was released alongside Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington. Palestinian leaders said they were not invited to attend the talks and preemptively rejected the plan. Trump's proposal made concessions to Palestinians, but under terms that they have previously ruled out, such as accepting West Bank settlements.
네, 그렇습니다. 트럼프 대통령이 발표한 이 구상이 이제 뭐 너무 친 이스라엘로 치우친 것이 아니냐라는 비판도 나오고 있는 가운데 이제 엇갈린 반응들이 나오고 있어요. 대체적으로 유럽에서는 이제 좀 미온적인 반응이긴 하지만 친미 국가들은 또 환영하는 그런 입장을 보이기도 했습니다. 그 중에서 뭐 영국 같은 경우는 긍정적인 진전이다 이렇게 얘기를 하기도 했고요. 터키는 이것은 이제 평화가 아니라 합병 계획이다 이런 얘기를 하기도 했습니다. 그런가 하면은 팔레스타인은 아니다. 이거는 아니다. 역사의 쓰레기통에 들어갈 만한 일이다. 이런 얘기까지 했습니다.
Yeah, that was Palestine's response to this. The world leaders' response all seemed to be the same. Other world leaders' responses. I mean, German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas, he said only a negotiated two-state solution acceptable to both sides can lead to a lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the UN supports two states living in peace and security within recognized borders. The European Union has responded in a similar fashion with the, quote, negotiated and viable two-state solution that takes into account the legitimate aspirations of both the Palestinians and the Israelis. You're seeing a theme here, right? Two states and everybody agrees. Palestine agrees, Israel agrees. That's the general theme of other world leaders' responses.
네, 그렇습니다. 이스라엘과 팔레스타인의 분쟁이 지금 뭐 70년 넘게 이어져 오고 있는데요. 과연 이제 해결 방안이 될지는 더 지켜봐야겠습니다. And we'll go on now to our final headline.
As the UK heads towards the EU exit door, the government of Scotland has shown willingness to hold a second Scottish independence vote.
브렉시트 발효를 앞두고 스코틀랜드 자치정부가 두 번째 독립 주민 투표를 강행하겠다는 의지를 보였습니다.
So Britain's departure from the European Union has kind of revived the debate for an independent Scotland, and that topic was thought to have been settled in a landmark referendum nearly 6 years ago. The results of that referendum, Scottish people voted by a majority of 55% to remain part of the UK in 2014. And that essentially took the issue off the table in what was described as a once-in-a-generation decision. But now, nationalists are arguing that Brexit represents a material change in Scotland's constitutional arrangements with the UK government in London. And now they're maybe thinking about asking for doing this referendum once again.
Indeed. Now the Brexit is due to take place, or I suppose it will come into force, technically speaking, tomorrow on the 31st. It's going to be midnight between the 31st and the 1st of February Paris time, which is going to be 11 p.m. London time. And it's supposed to see the UK splitting from Europe, but be united in its own way. With Scotland saying, we want to be an independent state, we're seeing a rift within the UK. And it's going to be interesting to see how this will maybe shape Brexit.
Well, from what I was reading on the internet, some people in Scotland are saying, well, yes, I voted no in that referendum years ago, but maybe now I would change my vote. And I think the government of Scotland, they have elections coming up around 2021. And I think if they have enough support for this referendum again, there'll be a strong push towards London to ask for this. And people are maybe saying, if England can do it, separate from the EU, then Scotland should have at least the same right to vote on it again.
그렇습니다. 유럽 의회에서는요, 영국의 EU 탈퇴, 그러니까 브렉시트 협정을 비준했습니다. 그러니까 현지 시간으로 31일 밤 11시 영국 시간 브렉시트가 이행이 됩니다만 영국 내에 있는 스코틀랜드는 독립을 하고 싶다. 그러면서 이 브렉시트가 시행되는 내일 31일에 이 국민투표 날짜와 세부 방안을 공개하겠다고 밝혔기 때문에 하나의 영국이 과연 이루어질 수 있을까? 물음표가 남아 있습니다. Those were our headlines for this morning. Let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
The subway can take you to many places. When you take the subway to work, you are blank. Is it number 1, commuting, number 2, communicating, or number 3, say it for me.
Country music. 자, 정답 아시는 분들은 보내주시고요. 총 5분께 떡볶이 세트 보내드리겠습니다. Adam Lambert의 If I Had You 듣고 와서 여러분의 사연과 뉴스 포커스 살펴볼게요. You're listening to Morning Special and it's a Thursday. Keep sending in your messages. We hope to hear how you're doing. Let's take a look at a few of those. 최윤식 님이요. BMW. And this is not a car brand. It means bus, metro, walking. That is the best way to fill in the lack of exercise.
It also means Belgian Motorworks, which is a brand name.
I see. 그렇군요. 버스, 전철, 그리고 걷기 가장 좋은 이동 수단이 되겠습니다.
Bus, metro, walking, yeah. Making use of the public transportation and your feet.
Yeah.
The best form of public transportation.
It is indeed. 오프닝에서 지하철 얘기를 해드렸습니다. 그래서 이제 이렇게 보내주신 것 같아요. 여러분 지금 혹시 출근 중이신가요? 어떻게 출근하고 계시는지 대중교통 이용하시는 분들 또 혹시라도 정말 걸어서 출근하시는 분들 계신가요? 가까이에서 직장 근처에 사시는 분들 연락 주세요. 연락이 아니라 사연 보내주세요. 네, 정신이 없네요. 최봉림님, Hello, it is a Thursday. Hope you guys have a great day as usual. I'm the one who has to prepare some presentations for VIPs from Russia in my company. So wish me luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, take them to Dongdaemun, to the Russian restaurants I was talking about.
아, 그것도 하나의 좋은 방법이네요. 동대문에 굉장히 맛있는 러시아 식당이 있다고 합니다.
Or maybe they don't want that. Maybe they want Korean food, right?
Maybe. Well, best of luck nonetheless. Fingers crossed. 양순열 님이요. 신 선생님, 스티브 선생님, good morning. 봄이 오는 것 같습니다. 저는 운동하면서 듣고 있어요. Wow, you're working out so early in the morning. As they listen to the show, a lot of people are either going to work or working out.
Working out in the morning is a difficult thing to do, but it really wakes you up and gets you ready for your day.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's so hard to start doing. But once you do, I think then you get used to it.
Get into the routine. Yeah, that's right.
김유진 님이요. 최수진 쌤, 스티브 쌤, good morning입니다. 매번 8시 20분부터 들을 수 있었는데요. 오늘은 8시 정각 오프닝부터 들었어요. 너무 기뻐요. 2시간 동안 열심히 들을게요 하셨습니다.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. 진은경 님입니다. 아, 수진 쌤 분위기가 달라 보여요 하셨습니다. 네, 오늘 머리를 좀 빗었습니다. 김현주 님. I brushed my hair this morning. That's
Oh,
why I look
nice.
different.
You look very nice today. It looks like you crawled inside a lion and then came out the top.
사자 같아 보인다고요? 칭찬이죠? 감사합니다. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. 김현주 님이요. 슬퍼요. Why are you sad? 군대 간 아들 휴가가 중지됐다네요. My son is serving in the military. And he was going to come and see me and the family, but he has not been permitted that leave. I guess it might have something to do with the coronavirus.
Could be, maybe not.
이날만 기다리고 있었을 텐데 기다림에 애타는 가족의 마음도 휴가를 손꼽아 기다렸을 아들의 무너지는 마음도 코로나 미워 하셨습니다. Wow, I didn't realize that you're not allowed to go on leave now because of this virus.
I guess it is related to that,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, hopefully he'll be home soon, right?
Yeah, I really do hope so.
By the way, can I mention very quickly, I think I've started a bit of a firestorm on our home pages or message pages about my Yoinaru station fact.
Okay.
I just want to say that I found that from Wikipedia, so I don't know if it's actually true or not, but that was the factoid from Wiki, just in
네.
case anyone's upset at me.
All right, well, it's nice to get that out there. All right, well, keep sending in your messages. Thank you to everyone who said hi this morning. And send in your answers to the quiz. If you have questions, ask away. We have 5 떡볶이 sets prepared for you. Well, let's get to our first news focus story now. 이제 첫 번째 news focus 살펴보겠습니다. 프랑스 정부가 파리 최대 임시 난민촌을 강제 철거해 약 1,500명의 난민을 퇴거 조치했습니다. 당국은 난민촌 강제 철거를 전국에서 계속해 나간다는 방침이지만 인권단체 등은 갈 곳 없는 사람들을 거리로 내몰아 상황을 더욱 악화시킬 것이라며 우려하고 있습니다. Let's listen to the story.
French riot police have forced more than 1,400 migrants out of an illegal camp in Paris, which was then destroyed. Some 600 single men and 240 families have been living in the shanty town of Port d'Aubervilliers. Those removed were taken to 17 so-called reception centers. There, they will be given short-term accommodation before trying to claim asylum in France or else being deported. In November, France's Prime Minister Edouard Philippe announced tougher measures against people traveling illegally through France, saying camps would be shut and that it would be harder for migrants to access non-urgent health care in the country.
네, 프랑스 파리에 있는 최대 불법 난민촌을 강제 철거했다는 소식입니다. Yeah, I saw pictures and it looks dire.
Yeah, it really does. The pictures look so sad, right? It's people who have set up kind of a shanty town, as they call it,
Yeah.
or a makeshift town of tents. And residents in the area, French residents in the area, were complaining about that, and the police have kicked them out of there. And they shut them down. They destroyed the camps. So as it says in the story, that they will be moved to these quote-unquote reception centers. They'll be there for a short period of time, and then they'll either be able to claim asylum in France or they will be deported back to their countries.
Yeah, and apparently this is the 60th time that they've made such a move since 2015. Mm-hmm. All right, let's look at a term here.
Yeah, so they are giving being given short-term accommodation before they try to claim asylum in France. So short-term accommodation, short-term in this context is a hyphenated word, and it means for a short amount of time. If you go to the airport, you know where you see this term?
I don't know.
Parking.
Oh, yeah.
Short-term parking, right?
I see.
And what that means is you will not be there, you will not be parking there for a long time. And of course, the opposite is long-term. Long-term parking, I think you can see that sign there as well. Another example for short-term, if you really cut your arm, let's say, for example, right? You have an accident at home and you really cut your arm. Well, you put a Band-Aid on that, but that's only a short-term solution because you have to go to the hospital. It's so serious.
그렇죠. 짧은 시간, 이렇게 단 시간을 뜻하는 short term이 되겠습니다. 여기서는요, 그러니까 이제 난민 신청 절차가 있어요. 근데 이 사람들을 위한 쉼터를 프랑스 정부가 점차 확대하겠다 이렇게 밝혔습니다. 그래서 여기 그 쉼터를 말하는 겁니다. Short term accommodation이라는 것이. 근데 이제 난민 인정을 받지 못하는 사람들의 경우는 추방될 거라고 합니다.
That's right.
Okay. Let's move on to our second news focus story. 두 번째 뉴스 포커스로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 신종 코로나 바이러스 감염증이 전 세계로 확산하는 가운데 실리콘밸리의 IT 기업들이 관련 가짜 뉴스 확산 방지에 나섰습니다. Let's listen to the story.
The coronavirus's rapid spread worldwide is forcing big tech to confront the equally viral proliferation of misinformation. Facebook confirmed that its partner organizations have issued 9 fact checks in recent days pertaining to several fake posts about coronavirus. The company labels the inaccuracies and lowers their rank in users' daily feeds. Twitter has reportedly been steering users toward more credible sources when they search for coronavirus-related hashtags, while Google tweaked its algorithms to prevent a large amount of harmful content from surfacing in search results.
네, 인터넷에 온갖 정보가 많이 떠돌아다니고 있는데 그중에서 이제 코로나 바이러스 많이들 검색하실 거예요. 집에서도 아마 코로나 바이러스 궁금해하시는 분들 많이 계실 텐데 그때 정말 수많은 정보들이 나오잖아요. 구글, 페이스북과 트위터는 이때 이제 가짜 정보가 먼저 올라오지 않도록 어느 정도 차단하도록 노력을 하겠다라고 하면서 그 알고리즘을 이제 어떻게 사용해서 신뢰성 있는 그런 출처의 내용이 먼저 올라오게끔 하고 신뢰성이 없는 것은 뭐 완전히 뭐 지울 수는 없겠지만 그래도 좀 밑에 잘 보이지 않도록 하겠다. 결과적으로는 좀 차단을 하겠다 이런 내용을 밝혔습니다.
If you are a social media user, for example, Facebook and Twitter, then you will know that at times like this, it can become a dangerous place almost.
Yeah.
Not dangerous physically, of course, but dangerous with the spread of misinformation. Because someone will post some sort of article where facts may not be true, and then of course that gets shared, and then it gets shared again, and then it spreads all around the world, and that can be dangerous when we're talking about important topics like this. Facebook is one location that can happen. Google is another place that can happen, and Twitter as well. So big tech, they are trying to take steps to make sure that this does not happen. They're doing what they can to prevent it.
Apparently there was this rumor about oregano oil. I don't know if you've heard about this.
This one I did not hear.
So apparently if you use this, you can fight the new coronavirus. This was a rumor. It turned out to be fake news. And in fact, when they traced this back, they found that this original post came from 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
But someone just copy and pasted it and then made it seem like it's relevant new news, but it's not.
With these fake stories, I mean, people have gotten so good. The people who put these stories on the internet, they have gotten so good at making them seem authentic that it's really hard.
Very hard.
It's hard to tell the difference between what's real and not real these days.
Exactly.
And people tend to believe when you see something on the internet, for some reason, for one reason or another, you just tend to believe it.
맞아요. 대표적으로 제가 지금 말씀드린 게 그 무슨 뭐 오레가노 기름을 뭐 사용하면은 바이러스에 효과 있다라고 하는 가짜 뉴스가 또 돌아다녔습니다. 근데 이게 알고 보니까 10년 전에 작성된 글을 누군가가 이게 조금 조작을 해가지고 올려서 마치 지금의 이 신종 코로나 바이러스에 효과가 있는 것처럼 밝힌 것인데, 이게 뭐 글을 쓴 것인데 이게 소셜 미디어에서 발견이 되고 삭제가 되기까지 조회수가 2,000회가 넘었대요. 그런 식으로 이제 많은 사람들이 잘못된 정보를 무차별적으로 보고 있다라고 판단을 해서 페이스북, 트위터, 그 다음에는 what was the other one?
Google.
네, 다 같이 이제 이런 가짜 뉴스 확산 방지를 하도록 하겠다. 밝혔습니다.
So Facebook and their partner organizations have issued 9 fact checks in recent days pertaining to several fake posts. So pertaining to is a pretty simple meaning. It means about or related to. It's just a little fancier way to say it.
네, 뭐뭐과 관계가 있다라고 할 때 pertaining to 뭐뭐뭐라고 할 수 있어요.
Exactly. And you can put it in question form if you ask the question, what is this about? Or what is this related to? You can also say, what is this pertaining to?
네, 그렇습니다. 여기 기사에서 보면은 fake post, 그러니까 가짜 뉴스와 관련된 것을 먼저 이렇게 페이스북, 구글과 트위터에서 팩트 체크를 하겠다. 이런 내용이 되겠습니다.
Yeah, and Google, they tweaked their algorithms to prevent a large amount of harmful content from coming out. Google tweaked. Tweaked. Tweak is the word here. And it means to make a small change to some plan. So if you were planning on going to Scotland and then England when you're going on your Europe trip, but you say, no, we're going to go to England and then Scotland, that's not a huge, massive change.
Yeah.
It's just a small change. So you can say, we tweaked our travel plans.
아하, 아주 작은 변경사항을 만들다라고 할 때 이제 tweak라고 할 수 있겠습니다. All right, let's remind our listeners of the quiz again.
Quiz question this morning. The subway can take you to many places. When you take the subway to work, you are blank. Number 1, commuting. Number 2, communicating. Or number 3, country music.
네, 총 5분께 추첨을 통해서 떡볶이 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 계속 정답 보내주세요. Culture Club의 Karma Chameleon 듣고 와서 세 번째 뉴스 포커스 살펴보겠습니다. 자, 다음 뉴스 포커스입니다. 언제 어디서든 똑같이 좋은 맛의 커피를 만들어낼 수 있는 공식이 있을까요? 미국 오레곤대와 영국 포츠머스대를 주축으로 한 국제 연구진이 커피 추출 과정을 수학적으로 분석해 이상적인 커피 추출 방법을 개발해냈습니다. Let's listen to the story.
A team of scientists have created a mathematical model for what they say is the ideal cup of coffee using around a quarter fewer beans. The research team was made up of chemists, mathematicians, material scientists, and coffee enthusiasts from 5 countries. Together, the researchers analyzed the standard 20-gram portion of coffee grounds typically used by espresso makers to see if there was a way this process could be optimized. The team calculated the extraction yields of the different brewing methods and found that if you use 15 grams instead of 20 grams of coffee, you can maintain the flavor and cut down on waste.
So less is more.
Less is more in this instance. Yeah, that's right. Are you an espresso fan?
I'm not. Are you?
I am.
Oh, really?
I love the little tiny cup. It makes me feel so fancy.
Yeah, it is very fancy. It's what Parisians do, isn't it? They with their lovely little cafes and tiny little cups.
And
not cups, but
what's the name of that dessert with the espresso on the ice cream? I forgot.
affogato. Yeah.
Do you get my joke? What's the
I-
name?
I-
I forgot.
Oh, Steve. 아, 농담이었군요.
This is kind of cool. So what they found here is, 20 grams of coffee is typically what they would use for an espresso, right? But what they found is if you cut that down to 15, and they tried various techniques, and their final answer or their final result is if you cut it down to 15, you can get the same amount of taste, but you can reduce the waste of coffee grounds, I guess.
와우. 원두의 양을 줄이게 되면은 오히려 이제 똑같은 맛을 유지하는 데 도움이 될 수 있고 그다음에 뭐 당연히 찌꺼기도 줄어들겠죠. 근데 이제 수학 공식을 적용했기 때문에 여러 가지 이제 수치가 나옵니다. 원두의 양은 25% 적게 하는 것이 좋다고 하고요. 여기 그 기사에 보면은 적은 게 조화식 해법이다. 그러면서 영어로는 the less is more approach
Yes.
라는 표현을 썼어요.
That's right. So this is what they say they can do to make the ideal cup of coffee. Now, ideal is pretty easy, right? It means perfect. But I'm going to give you an expression that you can use to express how you are not happy about something. And that expression is, it's not ideal. Okay? Now, when someone asks you, maybe in a work situation, is it okay? Do you like this? And you feel like, no, I don't like this. No, it's not okay. But saying those things sounds very harsh.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to deliver that message, but sound a little less harsh, then you can say, well, it's not ideal.
Right.
Right? And that means the same thing. It means, no, I don't like that.
아하.
The literal meaning will be, no, it's not perfect. But what you're really saying is, no, I don't like that.
네. 거절을 할 때 쓸 수 있는 아주 좋은 표현이 되겠네요. ideal 그러면은 이상적이다라는 의미인데 이제 it's not ideal 그러면은 이상적이지는 않네요. 이런 뜻이라서 완곡하게 거절을 하고 싶을 때 아주 유용하게 쓸 수 있는 표현이 되겠습니다.
And they found through this that they can cut down on waste, and cut down on is a pretty simple meaning. It means to reduce. And maybe you these days, if you're drinking 7 cups of coffee a day, it may be a good idea to cut down on the amount of coffee you drink to reduce the amount.
네. cut down on 그 뒤에 waste가 나왔죠. 그래서 뭔가를 줄이다. 그 뒤에 나오는 것을 줄인다라는 뜻이고 여기서 이제 커피 찌꺼기가 줄어들 것이다. 원두를 보통 20g 사용한대요. 그런데 이제 15g만 쓰고 그다음에는 기존 25초에서 이제 7초에서 14초로 이 에스프레소 제조하는 시간도 줄이고 이렇게 하게 되면 아주 맛있는 커피가 완성된다고 합니다. Sounds good. All right. Well, those were our news-focused stories. Now, what is the answer to the quiz?
The subway can take you to many places. When you take the subway to work, you are blank. Is it number 1, commuting, number 2, communicating, or number 3, country music? And the answer was number 1, you are commuting. You are going to work.
네, 그렇습니다. 1번 정답 맞춰주신 진행옥님, 이강주님, 5627님, 5399님, 그리고 강혜윤님 축하드립니다. 떡볶이 세트 보내드릴게요. 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지에 들어오셔서 정답자 리스트도 확인해 주시고 주소 꼭 남겨주세요. Okay, Steve, what is today's expression?
Yeah, let's do one that you just mentioned actually during the coffee story. Less is more. So less is more.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive, isn't it? Oh, that's another good one.
Let's do both then.
Okay. Well, if something is counterintuitive, when you hear it, it seems to have the opposite meaning. It doesn't mean to make sense, or it doesn't seem to make sense. Less is more doesn't seem to make sense. But what it means is doing less gives you a better result.
Right.
So let's use the example of accessories. Okay, so if you wear a nice watch or a nice necklace or a nice pair of earrings, then
Right.
maybe that looks great, right? But if you keep adding accessories, more, well, that doesn't give you a better result, right? So actually, when it comes to accessories, less is more. You'll hear this expression a lot when people talk about fashion or
Yeah.
or design, interior design, like a home, right?
Yeah.
They'll say, "Oh, stop putting so much stuff: sofas, chairs, tables, lamps, painting. Stop.
Exactly.
Go with a minimalist approach."
맞아요. 요즘에는 인테리어 디자인도 이 미니멀리즘이 굉장히 유행이잖아요. 그래서 여백의미를 중시하기 때문에 집에서 이렇게 빈 공간들을 꽉꽉 채우기보다는 그냥 그대로 놔두는 것이 요즘엔
Yeah.
좀 트렌드입니다.
Why? Because less is more.
Exactly. 네, less is more라는 것은 직역을 하시면 안 되고 더 적게 하는 것이 좋다. 이런 의미로 보시면 되겠습니다. 직역을 하면 더 적은 것이 많은 것이다. 이거는 counterintuitive 한 거예요. 직관에 어긋나죠. 말이 안 되잖아요. 적은 것이 많은 것이다. 그런 뜻이 아니라는 거 기억해 주시면 되겠습니다. 일상생활에서 저도 많이 쓰는 표현인데 less is more. 좀 적게 하는 게 오히려 더 좋다. 귀걸이, 목걸이, 시계, 목걸이만 단 5개, 뭐 귀걸이 뭐 여러 개 하고 시계도 오른팔, 왼팔,
Sometimes you see it, right?
브로치 이렇게 액세서리 많이 하면 너무 오바예요.
Yeah.
이거는 그래서 그럴 때는 오히려 그냥 딱 하나만 포인트로 하는 게 좋을 때도 있죠. 그런 게 less is more입니다.
That's right.
All right, well, thank you so much, Steve.
As always, thank you very much for having me. And tomorrow is the last day of January. Can you believe that? We're almost
Yes.
at the end of the first month of the year.
My goodness.
And I will be back for that show too.
All right, well, I'll see you on February Eve.
Yes, is that a thing now?
I don't know. Thank you, Steve.
Bye.
Coming up in the second hour of Morning Special, we have the Power English team with Say What, and we also have our movie segment with Lara. 기대가 많이 되는 2부입니다. Journey의 Don't Stop Believing 듣고 저는 2부에 돌아오겠습니다.